Okay, start.
I don't know how to start.
Cut. Beep.
What? Hi, we're Casey and Vivi. We're going to show you guys how we refurbish and refinish this table here. We were looking for furniture to redo, or not redo, but just to furnish our apartment that we're in now.
We were just looking for options to just get a table because we were going to move to a new apartment. And we were looking like in many stores because we were just going to get married and we wanted to get something cheap but nice.
Yeah, we also were spending money on the wedding and everything like that, so we were trying to find something that was cheap and a budget and also kind of something for us to do to look like exactly how we wanted it. As we were shopping for tables and stuff, I was asking my parents and they were nice enough to let us have this table that my mom was kind of using as a craft table.
That was Benito. Okay,
so as we were shopping around, I was asking my parents for input and stuff like that. We were going to thrift stores, but my mom was nice enough to let us use this table here that she was using kind of like a craft table. So it had a lot of kind of paint spilt on it, some glue, random tape in different places. Pretty sure my younger siblings used it as like a coloring book or a blank piece of paper to draw on in some places too. But we were able to take it and make it something beautiful.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
We're gonna show you guys our process of taking the table from looking like this to looking like this. All right, let's do it. So this is the table we're working with. It is a little over 20 years old, was refinished probably about 7 years or so ago, but it's not really the style we're looking for. We're looking for more of a country farmhouse type of look, so we head over to our local Lowe's and we started shopping. We had a very strict budget for this, so we only wanted to buy things that were absolutely necessary. We agreed on buying this finish remover as it would save us a little bit of time, elbow grease, and money on sandpaper.
What are you gonna get?
I don't know. We wanted the top of the table to be gray, but we still wanted to see the wood grain, so we went with this not so dark gray stain. Yeah, 2 of these or 1 of these?
2. So I can help.
On a budget. Look at the price. Alright. We are definitely not professionals by any means, and we came across a lot of problems while we were doing this. One thing that we didn't expect was how difficult that finish is going to be to take off of the table. Lots of paint and marker and other things on it. Trying to sand. So we finally nailed down the process where we would get a little bit of the furnish remover. I wouldn't suggest putting it in a dish like this because it's alcohol based and it evaporates very quickly. I spilled a little here, but it worked out because in the end we would just pour it right on the table, grab a steel wool, and rub it in there. And you could really see the varnish and the finish that was there on the table start to come off. And then I just grabbed a scrap rag and wiped up the rest of the stuff on there. We recommend using the steel wool to apply it because a rag just didn't work. Make sure you're using the appropriate gloves for this because I wasn't, and that happened. After removing most of the finish on top, we took a sander to the table to really get down to the wood grain. We went through a lot of sandpaper at the beginning and we realized the cheapest sandpaper we could find worked just as good as the expensive one. So we recommend going that route. At this point, we were about done with the sanding. We probably could have done a little bit more to get a little bit more of the finish off, but we were running out of time as we were moving in just a couple days and we needed to stain the top of the table and paint the table leg and chairs.
So this is what we're gonna use.
That's our stain. It's pretty gray. Hoping with the finish on it. So I have this thing apparently where I just don't finish sentences sometimes, and what I was going to say was I was hoping at the end when we put the lacquer and the finish on that we would still be able to see the wood grain through the gray.
Oh my goodness. You don't have a smaller one?
It's okay.
Did you do like that? Like this?
Yep, I shook it all up. So as you watch me here, you'll see that I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even read the directions on the can. But what you'll want to do is you'll want to wipe on a good amount of the finish and let it sit there for a couple minutes to really soak into the wood grain, and then wipe it off. Instead, I ended up wasting a bunch of stain here, but I got the right process eventually. I'll stain my hands. Let me do that. And you'll want to remember to wear your gloves. I did not. I was just so excited to be finally staining the table. Up. Too much. Now remember, you'll want to brush the stain on, wait at least 5 to 15 minutes, and then wipe it off. And if that's not dark enough, you'll want to wait 2 to 4 hours, and then repeat that process. As we were waiting for the table to dry, it was on to sanding the chairs. These chairs were a pain to sand as there were so many little grooves, but we wanted to get in as many of them as possible to make sure that the paint sticks. My family again was kind enough to let us borrow their paint sprayer to spray the chairs, saving us a ton of time and effort. I would suggest you have better posture while mixing the paint though. I also clearly didn't know what I was doing when I started spraying this first chair. You'll want to start spraying off of the chair and then make your way onto the chair, maintaining an equal distance all the way across. I ended up doing that right about now, and it ended up much better for me. You'll also see we set up a pretty cool paint spraying tent here. It's just an old pop-up tent that we taped sheet plastic to the sides to prevent overspray into the yard and the cars parked on the street. We also covered the top of the table, flipped it upside down, and painted the table leg and the underskirt of the tabletop to get what we were looking for. So again, this is what we started with, and this is what we ended up with. Now, this is lived in for a couple months, so there's a little bit more imperfections, but we wanted to make it look rustic, and so we sanded off some of the paint anyways, but I think it looks great. We removed the center leaf there since we're just in a small apartment and there's only a couple of us living here, but I hope you can see from the video that it was fairly simple to do. Just took a little bit of elbow grease and saved us a lot of money. Alright, thanks for watching. If you guys want to see more videos of us doing similar things like this, or even just parts of our life, we're kind of funny together, I think. Are we funny?
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, we're kind of funny, I guess. So, yeah, hit that subscribe button and we'll all have fun together. Adios.
Bye.
Alright, how do we start this? What are you doing with that? Get that. No. Stop.
Like, hello, my name is Casey and Vivi. About this table.
Hi, we're Casey and Vivi.
Are you serious?
I'm trying to think how to make it like...
I don't speak English, but I'm gonna do this. We are Casey and Vivi, and we're going to show you how we did this table. Well, we didn't make it. We painted. So it was...
You have food here.
Yeah.
No.
It's for later.
Did
you just... That's my mustache.
No.
And then we painted.
Okay, start over.
Yeah, but you start.
I got it.
Alright, yeah.
I forgot. Let's do it.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Alright. This needs to be better.
Yeah.